Welcome back to Yildiz Readings 5D. Grab a cuppa, sit back and relax. All the information for bookings is at the end of this video. Welcome back, Divine Feminines. We're here to do your psychic update for this point in the month or whenever you do land on this video. Now, I have pulled the cards and I've sat with the energy, and I have pulled additional cards because we are looking at the overall energy of where you stand at the minute. Now, I am seeing that there's almost this reflection back, and I feel it is really with the 2-2 portal. It does feel we're trying to get into yin and yang. A lot of you are trying to stay quite balanced. A lot of you are trying to get into this place where things are going to make a bit more sense. At the moment, it may be that it's not making sense. We do have Gemini in reverse, which is directly connected to the twins. There is this feeling of communication not coming through correctly. It may be that you feel a little bit foggy. And I do feel for some of you, it's like that thought of do you or don't you want to interconnect into this situation. I do feel that a lot of you, what you're not going to see coming is that there are going to be some things that are happening very quickly. And I feel it's that you have directly shifted. You've actually moved into detachment. And you're reflecting on some 3D circumstances inside your life. This is a very emotional point at this point coming through in the read. But there's a lot of acceptance that is coming through in your energy. I feel some of you are really feeling through this Mercury retrograde that you may have got communication. And some of you, it's like this feeling that you resonate with that person is shifting a little bit. And it can be because you are looking at any codependent patterns. You may be looking at a circumstance and feeling quite disillusioned by it, but it is moving into the past tense position, which is healthy, because we directly are inside the connection, always connected. And, you know, those that have walked on the path a long time do understand that. Those that really are looking at it more from a 3D point of view only, both directly apply. It's quite frustrating in the transformative sense to get that into some balance sense, but initially it is very 3D. We're looking at it from a 3D perspective. We're saying, hey, X doesn't equal Z, so, you know, then therefore it's over. There's the other attributes, which is the 5D, and very much for quite a while now, the masculine's energy, especially linked in astrology, it has been in the South Node. It's only now that we're moving in the directs, really, you know, out of this Mercury retrograde cycle, which is the message that's been given to me, is that you have been building on your self-esteem. You have been building on your needs of what you want, and you are moving into manifestation. We do have the heart chakra that is going to be activated through the Leo moon. And so inside your bodies and your aura at the moment, there is a shift happening. At the moment, I almost feel that a lot of you are guided to sit still, and it doesn't mean don't do anything in your life. It's almost like you're stepping back, you're observing the painting, and you're seeing where you stand. There's something to do with the past that is coming back, but I feel it's coming back in a healthier format. I feel it's like that art of appreciation, having another go, being able to look at something from a different perspective, and I feel it's through the circumstances that we've moved through this Mercury retrograde. Some of you are really hurt. Some of you maybe were feeling that you were going to have this communication, rabbit, and it's like it didn't happen. But again, it's asking you to go into the heart space, especially with the full moon in Leo. We're trying to get back into some sense of balance. We're trying to understand with our spiritual connection as well as in our own lives, how do we move into that brand new beginning? Where do we start? Where are those things coming up for us in our life? I do get this vibe that we know something is new, but there can be a great deal of fatigue in trying to integrate that at the moment. You know, we can be feeling quite foggy, quite fatigued. I feel that whatever purgatory experience you've gone through, we're questioning our passion. And this can be, you know, are we beautiful enough? Really focusing on our bodies, so to speak. Wanting to get back up to date with looking after ourselves and nurturing ourselves. Maybe, well, I was saying this to a client the other day, have we done our toenails? You know, have we been able to have that self-care for ourselves during Venus retrograde? And I feel a lot of us are just really recovering from the transits, getting prepared, but there's a lot of things in a value sense that are changing, and some of those things are going by the wayside. So I'm feeling for Divine Feminines, the personal energy that's coming through in your reading is very much to do with where you stand. I do feel you're going to be changing the way you see the connection. Yes, there's still a residue that we're moving through at the minute, trying to understand in the monkey mind why communication has not happened. I do feel, even if it did back when you were expecting it to come through, because we were moving through a personal transit, Venus, we wouldn't have allowed that person, it would have affected our aura more so, because we're moving into light body. I feel you're coming into that calm field now, which is going to be quite light bulby for you, but it can still cause agitation. So you need to be very gentle with yourself. I do feel a lot of you were looking at things very 3D, which is human. It's, you know, we're supposed to do such. We have the 5D as well. And it felt like you weren't ready to gamble. And, you know, gambling is a little bit like, I'm getting this card like the Fool card in Tarot, is that, you know, there's a time and a place to be the Fool card, and it's like the zero is infinity. There's infinite ways the situation can go. So some of you may have had people coming towards you to offer you romance. Some of you may have been in a soulmate or a karmic relationship, feminines. I feel now we're realizing the polarity of we can get equal with whomever we directly deal with, but a lot of energy has actually occurred within the connection. Something again, and this has been a large message the last few months, and it started bumping up again. And I kept hearing the term Christmas in July. I don't necessarily feel, because when my guides work with me, sometimes they give me a time frame and it's in quite a metaphor. So what I'm seeing is something that was supposed to happen during Christmas, where we had that momentum, we were having this movement forward. It is because we had Venus moving retrograde that it did, for our sakes, put a hold on these things. And we did look at our values, and if people were respecting us, if our twin flame connection was looking at us in a correct format. And this year we are having Juno retrograding in Pisces. So I feel this is coming back up again. There's some reason why there was a delay. It was also for you spiritually, for integration. But I do feel things are going to start moving extremely quickly. So we do need to actually be quite prepared. But usually it will only shift if in fact you have purged enough, got yourself anchored down enough to understand what the lesson and the download was. And I feel self-esteem building. I do feel some of you have had this epiphany that you want to turn over a new leaf. This can be to do with your health and diet. This can be to do with the way you are holding yourself, but also what you will and won't allow. I also feel the unconditional is that we need to understand that this person is actually going to love you however you look. This isn't about being perfect. There's no 25 years on the journey, I'm telling you gospel. You are loved authentically, okay? So it's the shadow and the purgatory experience. For some of you, I do feel you're going to have a message from an ex, and this isn't twin. For some of you, you've done shadow work associated to that. But I also feel the truth is inside your heart. There's an X on the heart chakra. A few movies that were shown to me in reference to the twin flame path this month was X-Files. Something that isn't making sense, especially because we do go through this metaphor of, is this real? Is this energy? How do we look at it? I don't know why I'm hearing the X-Files, but it's very Dana, Scully and Mulder, Smolder we call them. So I am sensing that it's like you're trying to make sense of the 3D and the 5D. Some of you are saying, look, I just spiritually can't feel it. A lot of times that happens because you have actually pushed the energy out and you're not getting as many psychic attacks. I feel as Mercury goes direct, there's going to be movement. It's warning you to be quite prepared. It's a compliment to a degree. Some of you can be reaching communication. Some of you are taking steps in your life to make your life more positive. Some of you also are feeling, I could say impatient, but I don't feel it's coming through that way. I feel if you have done the spiritual work on yourselves, right, I feel the way it's coming through is more, you're not going to do everything for everyone. You're not going to be angry about it. You're going to do the very best you can, but you're going to be quite blunt. Blunt doesn't have to be toxic though, and it's not, my guides aren't showing me that you're going to be blunt in a toxic fashion. If that's so, it's to do with integration, and it's an emotion that needs to be shifted. It's not that you're a bad person, it's a transformation. But again, the quicker we go through those things and we can look at them in a healthy way, the more in alignment we come, and we can come into that abundant sense. And I do feel for a lot of you, you can be working out what you're going to do in your career. For a lot of you, you're realizing what you're made of and who you are. You're also not only requiring that you be special to your twin, but you are choosing to allow yourself to be special to you. I feel you're going to be jumping on a situation, but this is something that needs urgent attention. I also feel with the decisions that you're making to move forward, it is for the bigger picture. You're masculine at the moment in linking to you, which we are going to go further into that, you know, within the reading. I do see, look, in your general life, there's major things going on. You're balancing, you're trying to get grounded. You could be, for a lot of you, quite in detachment. There's nothing wrong with that. Detachment can mean, don't presume how you will feel if your twin is standing in front of you. Wait for that to happen. Make that call and that judgment then. Others of you, I feel this huge slingshot effect forward. Even if you feel you're not ready, universe is only going to give that situation to you if in fact you are. So please trust the process. I feel some of you have felt like you want something more than just intimacy. You actually want the spiritual connection. So if it had been a majority of the point chemistry written, you faced the shadow in that, and you've seen the yin to the yang. So some of you, if you had the shadow effect and you were feeling that that was wrong, that was incorrect, I shouldn't be that, you've looked at that, you've allowed that wound to heal. For others of you, it's that you've accepted the fact that in order to have a spiritual connection, we need to address that in a different format. I feel some of you are really tired, you're just not very motivated. You need to give yourself a couple of days. But I do see a circumstance coming up relating to divine feminine and the karmic, and this is a crossroad. This is a crossroad at the moment as Venus goes direct out of shadow and Mercury does as well. And I feel by the end of this month, I feel it's even by the halfway point. How this is coming off is divine feminine either has had a conversation with divine masculine. Divine masculine is thinking about this. Divine feminine has somehow in their subliminal sent out a message that a decision needs to be made left or right. This can be within her demeanor, and it doesn't have to be a her. We're dealing with feminine energy. Whatever that healthy boundary is, the healthy boundary is always initially with ourselves an acceptance of what we need, what we will and won't have, and how we adultly can actually relate to that circumstance. And I feel feminine is, for this pocket of feminines, I do feel communication is coming. But I feel overall the masculine has read the signal that something has to give, that something has to shift. I do feel a circumstance relating to the karmic is coming up. But it's almost like divine feminine is masculine's mind, and it's like, look, enough is enough. And it's not that you are being lower frequency, or it's not that they're showing me. It's a statement piece. It's a demeanor. Because we teach people how to treat us. I feel when it does come to the communication, I feel the masculine knows that something has to give. I do feel if there's been a circumstance relating to a karmic partner that is being dealt with right now, I already feel it's in the mix. I do feel to a degree as you calm your energy, you will be able to tune into the fact that this is so, that change is happening. You're having the courage that new starts can take some time, and that this person is actually, you know, a statement had been made, you know, a benchmark of what is required has been said. For those of you who that relates to, but it feels like a map, so to speak. A map has been given. So I feel this individual does know such. But you may have gone down into the rabbit hole of feeling, then where has this movement been? you know, you're moving. The masculine has been going into the head and heart space. There is critical energy. There is a little bit of a purge when it does come to opening up and expressing how they're feeling. I feel that they're not wanting to say anything to cause angst, and because they're needing to get grounded, they're delaying. The delay was due to such. I feel if there'd been crosswise and, you know, moodiness, this can be something to come. Just be really careful. The moodiness and the demeanor, it really is going to depend on how many tools you have in the bag. And I feel if you go into this abruptly, without hearing the energy out, seeing where it goes, stating your piece of what you're needing, if you've done such, you know, it's a little bit like Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, just sitting back and allowing that shift to happen. I feel for a lot of you, you know, psychically that this is shifting. I also feel rejection. I'm hearing the term rejection is the universe's protection. This is a change in direction. For many of you, you can be questioning if you are going to get your reward. That's been a very large theme that has come up, value systems. For some of you, you're very scared that you're going to be going back into the... Look, this person has felt quite overwhelmed with this turnaround, with this 360. It has been quite an overwhelming subject. They also feel the transformation between both parties here has been quite overwhelming, and I feel it's been for both parties involved. I'm hearing the term very tired. I also feel that they're changing their approach. They're actually looking at you as marriage material. I do feel they're not planning anything in layman's terms of the short term. They're also saying that, you know, they're wanting to help you in some shape or form. But at times they feel you don't require them. But that is a shadow that they're facing, and they're looking at different ways they can actually be there for you in a different fashion than just monetary. I do feel, yes, for some masculines, there is losses of income. But it is due to severing of ties of contracts, people, places, or things. Their plan is definitely to reconnect. Their plan is that they do want this in a connection with you. But they also know that in order to do that, you have given them the resume. And as long as we are stepping back and saying, hey, you know, I'm happy to be with you, but if there's mess here and there's indecision, I don't want me to be the reason. I want you to know this is what you've dealt with, okay? The funny thing is, in this occasion, masculine's showing me that you are the total eclipse of their heart, that it's not to do with this other energy anymore. They're having psychic attacks and they can be tuning into you quite a bit. But it's what's crossing them is you. So this can come through two ways, feminines. Be careful with your communication this week. Be careful, because I do feel this person is open to communicating with you. I do feel that they do have the intent. There is a lot of chemistry between you. They won't deny it. But you guys can be taking offense at the minute, and it may be by something that is said, something in the way they're reacting to their current life circumstance. And what we need to understand is how to deal with that, right? How to deal with that is if this person has come towards you and they've said, look, my unconditional love is for you. I do love you. I'm recovering from the past. This could be because they've gone through a breakup. What we need to understand, the pressure point is on, right? We're having bloody Valentine's Day, and I do have a Valentine's Day webinar, so if you want to come and join for that support and channelings, please come through. It's, you know, we do need to look at it from a spiritual point of view. If you're needing the support, like I said, it's there. Also, try and spiritually turn it around in layman's terms of it is a moment, but it doesn't define you. So if there is hurt associated with, you know, is this person going to acknowledge me? What we need to understand through the cards, what is being shown to me, is they already know who you are to them. You're not the problem. They know that in order to get this shit back on the road, it's going to take a little bit of time. They are thinking about you. You've given them the resume. They're trying to avoid conflict with you. There's a little bit of space between you. But it's because each party here has been quite tired and you're integrating, but there's values coming up. I do feel both of you could have things to do with self-esteem, money, work. It's coming to a head, but it's causing turmoil in the foundation. Try to be careful this week with your communication, okay? I'm going to move into the extension to see what else Divine Masculine's wanting to tell you. And I also have an update for the Karmic and Divine Masculine inside of this situation. Feminines, I do feel you're going to have some luck this week. It's almost like something that you're needing to go towards at the moment, which is your own personal destiny separate to this. This is moving, but this is going to move quicker than you think. You just need to be spiritually prepared, but I do think there's some things of a tying up nature that you're dealing with this week. And also feel this higher heart chakra activation. I do feel the dream state can start coming through, but I do feel ultimately whatever your previous conversation was, for those of you who that applies, or the demeanor that you've taken, the standpoint, you know, right, this is where the door is, so to speak. I do feel you guys who have done that work, you're going to get communication. Now, if you do want to come through and have a look at the extension come through, the link is directly below. It's in the pre-extension content in the Members Hub, or you can find it on the main page. If you want a private booking, yes, I do private bookings. It's filling up fast. Come through, click the link, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care, beautifuls. See you for the live on Fridays. Subscribed. I love to see you. Come date me, as I say, on YouTube. And for 2022, we have a lot more new content. Romance reads, twin flame updates. Yes, we have the Members Hub online, so come through and join us. And giveaways. Very separately, 2 channels being launched, as well as the membership hub on my website. So please click the bell. I'll see you soon, and come and join us for the lives and the super chats. Any questions, DM me.